Good morning. Welcome back to We Are the South Stand. It is my morning show, stroke a call-in show, which is a chance for all of our lovely viewers, our family, the people that make this channel possible to join me and have a chat about Manchester City. I have put the link already in here, but I'm going to put the link again in here. Everyone is welcome as long as you can turn your camera on, and please be somewhere quiet, quiet enough so that we don't hear kind of people in the background having a chat, or even worse if you're at work. But here's the link. Everyone is welcome, like I said. It would be great to have some people on that I haven't spoke to before, just to have a chat with them, especially the people that are really vocal and are here all the time. Like David, salute. That's a good idea what you just said there. But yeah, there's a lot of you that I speak to a lot here, but I've never seen your face. So it's great to put a face to a name, get your opinion. But you really are the people that make this channel. So it's good to get you lot on here and have your opinion. Of course, if no one joins, then listen, I'm just going to talk my usual crap and waffle for the next 45 minutes or so. Five sleeps until the Manchester derby. How are we all feeling about that? I know that the derby, the nerves, I'm currently kind of speaking with Steve and speaking with Cass about what shows to do on Never a Foul, what shows to do on here to preview the derby. I think we're going to have rants on Never a Foul, Saeed on Never a Foul. Probably have Saeed and Steve do an upload on here. But yeah, it's one of those ones where I do think as a fan base, we're going into this derby probably a bit more nervous than we usually would. The ground obviously is going to be a bit more of a nervous place. Look, because the truth of the matter is, however shit United have been recently, they are currently above us in the league. And however shit they were last season, they took 4 points off of us. So we're not going into this derby like maybe previous years. However, an early goal can change a lot. And I said this to Rance yesterday. An early goal can make that South Stand come alive. Alternatively, if we don't get an early goal, I need a Kuzanov thumping challenge on Cunha in about the 20th minute. So if we don't get a goal in that, if I'm Pep, right, this is me to Pep before the game. Boys, I want you to go out there. I don't want you to play a high line. That's going to happen. But no, look, this is what I would say. Look, if we don't get a goal, like, guys, go out, try and get an early goal, and you know that the atmosphere is going to come alive and everyone's going to be behind you. And then as all the players are leaving the dressing room, I'd grab Kuzanov. I'm getting my way, Kuzanov starts. Grab Kuzanov and pull him back and say, listen, if we don't score in the first 20 minutes, Kuzanov, I want you to go flying into Cunha, Buemo, even better Sesko. If Sesko actually gets his debut, welcome him to the Premier League. But if we do not score in the first 20 minutes, Kuzanov, I want you to go flying into a United player. Now, listen, very important. Don't get sent off, Kuzanov. Do not get sent off. But make sure that whoever you go in on knows that you were there. And listen, watch that South Stand come alive. Anyway, yeah, that's my input if I was Pep. Also, we're going to talk on APT, what this means for Manchester City, what it means for the Premier League. This is where I really would love to have some guests on the channel to help break down the APT ruling for me. Because, look, I'm not going to act like I know everything about it. I'm just going to give my opinion on it. But I would like to get other people's opinions on the APT ruling. Obviously, we've come to a settlement with the Premier League. But then the knock-on effect, what does that settlement... Is that settlement an indication on 115? Does it mean anything on 115? But yeah, people, of course, there's 100 of you here already. Please do make sure you are smashing that like button. Let's get those likes up. The likes are so damn important because the higher the likes are, the more this video gets pushed out to more people. And for people that don't play the YouTube game, let me just explain it to you. In fact, it's not a game for me anymore. It's actually my living. It's what keeps me, keeps me alive at this point. Right. But when you hit an international break, there is naturally less things to talk about. which then means the YouTube algorithms for football content is not cooking as much. And then you see the numbers of, if you go and watch the numbers on shows, the shows are lower. So at this point, this is where I say during this international break where we try and keep the content going, if you really can, please all like the video. It really, really does help. It really does help. Of course, we do have the sponsors. I've nearly got through. So they sent me 10 shirts to model. OK jerseys, and I've nearly got through them all. I think I've got 2 more City tops to wear. But our traditional home shirt here. Remember, of course, OK jerseys. The lovely Homer Simpson edition. I need some orders on that, people. Please go and order the OK jersey Homer Simpson edition. It's not actually called the Homer Simpson edition. But £15 a jersey. They are top quality, honestly. I can't recommend them enough. And listen, if they were shite quality, I would not be wearing them. I would not recommend them to you. They are top quality. And listen, like I always say, if you can afford to go and buy your football shirts from the club, please go and support Manchester City. Please do. But if you can't, get them from OK Jersey. 15 quid a top, great quality, and not all of us can afford to buy every single kit. Right. Let's start off with Donnarumma last night. Peter Curry saying he's ordered his. Brilliant. Love Peter. And I'm going to put the link one more time. Anyone that's cameras on and you want to join me for a chat, please just click on the link. You do have to have your camera off, but then you will be backstage and I'll bring you on stage. We can have a chat about City. Let's start off, though, with talking about Donnarumma. Now, I know I did say I was going to do a Donnarumma foot-along last night against Israel. Actually, to be fair, I should have. In hindsight, it was a lot better game than when they played Estonia. However, with the news of Loss passing away, to be honest with you, I just wanted to kick back and relax yesterday evening and spend some time with my daughter, to be honest with you. So I didn't do a watch long. I didn't watch the game. I just on the Bakerloo line, Dash. You on the? Yeah, I just actually watched Suits and then spent some time with my daughter and went to bed early. Probably why I'm in such a good mood today, actually. On the Bakerloo line, what are you doing down there, bro? We do have a guest, and this is somebody that I think we've spoke about you coming on before. Hello, Alf.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. We've spoke about you coming on before, I think, haven't we?
Oh, have we? I know someone asked me to come on a show. Asked me to come on a show, but I said short, but we haven't talked about it.
It might have been that. It might have been that we were speaking about you coming on. Anyway, how are you?
I'm doing great. Belgium won. Belgium is actually looking good without a new coach. So I heard you were going to talk about Donnarumma. I'll talk about Doku instead.
So are you from Belgium?
Yes, I'm from Belgium.
So yeah, you did. You won both your games. I think, didn't you win both your games quite convincingly as well?
I mean, Liechtenstein was one of the games, so it was actually quite sad affair against Liechtenstein. We were really struggling for 60 minutes, and then Liechtenstein got tied. So that was actually rather sad.
Yep.
But the second game was really good. There were some changes as well in that game, but Doku played in both games, and he played both games pretty poorly, to be honest. But that's a big difference.
I like that. Did you say he played both games pretty poorly?
Yes.
Right. See, this is the thing. I agree with you. I didn't watch the first game. I watched the second game. And in the second game, obviously got 2 goals and an assist. But up until his first goal, he did nothing on the right. And he actually started the game on the right, didn't he?
I'll actually counter that. He did worse than nothing. He was actively hurting us because I remembered a moment, a brilliant 1-2 from the Ketelaar. Doku should really be in the box and finding whoever is with him or having a shot. He just walks into a centre back and does nothing. That's very poor.
I remember
any
the
decent winger does more to it. But it's the thing with Doku though. When he came into those central areas, he just shot. And when he came on that wide area, where for Man City he'd do whatever, he actually shot, which I like. He just shot. So he played a poor game, but to be fair, he got 3GA. And the assist is a bit lucky. He was going on target, miss, and Ruskin tapped it in far post. So that's a bit lucky, but still, you need to get them. If he does that for Man City, he'll be immediately better, but that doesn't mean he'll be good enough yet. The problem is with Man City, he doesn't shoot when he's supposed to shoot. He shoots when he's supposed to pass, and he passes when he's supposed to shoot. He doesn't know what he's doing sometimes.
Yeah. Do you know, because after the game online, there was a few people saying, Doku looked really good. Doku got 2 goals and assist off of the right? Now, for me, yes, he started the game off the right, but he then switched over to the left-hand side. If we're talking about when he was on the right-hand side, I think that's when he was at his worst. I think...
Absolutely. He did nothing on the right. Trossard was doing nothing on the left either. He came down the right. Trossard was actually the worst player on the pitch, to be fair. He wasn't that bad.
He's really dropped off in the last year and a half, I think, because Trossard 2 years ago at Arsenal was probably their most clutch player. He was popping up with goals off the bench quite a lot. I think he's dropped off quite a bit. I mean, I think in the Euros last year, I don't think he was very good in the Euros either. I think a few times he was played on the right in the Euros, I think once or twice. It looked weird as well. But now with Doku, the one thing I would say is, and I know you have to talk about the fact you were playing Kazakhstan, right? But his 2 goals...
to be fair here, Kazakhstan is not as bad as people say. Liechtenstein, I don't care what you do. Kazakhstan is not that bad of a team.
I mean, yeah. But also, what I would say is the 2 goals that Doku did get, I don't think it really matters who it is. He's still connected with the ball very well on both of them. And it's a bit of a frustration because those 2 goals, the amount of times he's been in that position for City and not scored.
When has he been in that position for City, though? Because if you talk about position with the ball, sure, but anyone who's played striker knows there's a difference in being in a place in a location and then being in a position with players around you. He's not in that position in the Premier League because players are around.
No. If you look at both of his goals, he's been in that position. As in, I'm not meaning what position he's playing in. I'm meaning if you look at both of those goals, I've seen Doku have the ball in that position for Manchester City many, 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 many times.
Yeah, but the problem is in the Premier League, players are closer to you.
Right, okay, that's fair.
And Doku, I've said this for a while. Doku and Savio as well. They seem to get claustrophobic when they're surrounded. I mean, if you've played as a striker, I have. Whenever a centre back got tight to me, I found that very annoying. So I would just try to push him away. But when you're surrounded by players, it's more difficult to finish, even if they don't touch you.
He did have more space. I agree with you. He did have more space. Yeah, actually, it was quite interesting that we're giving him so much space, to be fair. The final one, the assist, I thought the assist was quite good as well. I don't know if it was an assist or if he was going for goal, but either way, effective. But I do agree with you. Overall, apart from that, he didn't do too much. He wasn't, the 2 goals and assists probably glaze him a bit. They do.
Here's the thing. I don't care if he drops stinkers every game and scores 2 goals and gets an assist every game. But here's the thing. I've seen nothing from that game that makes me think he's going to take that into Man City. I don't think he scores those goals for Man City because he's going to get pressed way tighter by centre backs. Yeah. That assist, it was lucky. Like assists matter, but some assists are lucky. If you get a lucky assist, which everyone will once in a while, that doesn't show you can do an actual proper assist. Take, for example, his assist to Haaland, his only one. That was a pass he gave in to Bernardo Silva, but it was overcooked. Silva flicked it all.
Yeah, it was.
And it found its way to Haaland somehow. So he didn't intend that to go there.
But that assist the other day, why do you think that was lucky?
Because he was aiming for the goal. He was going for targets, but it went off the post and Laskin tapped it in on the far post.
So it was unlucky that he didn't score.
I guess so.
I'm just trying to be balanced here. But no, right. So of what you've seen of Doku this international break, for you, should Doku start on Sunday?
I mean, this is a problem. I don't know what Pep is thinking. so if he wants to play a touchline winger, then don't play Marmoush. But it's a problem. Doku does nothing defensively either. Because right now, Tijani Reinders looks pretty poor because he's doing the running for Bernardo Silva. Rodri is not running a lot yet because, I mean, he's just back from an ACL. So when Tijani has to do all the running in midfield, and then he has to cover for a centre-back who's really slow, and then he has to cover for a left winger who doesn't want to press, and then people are shocked he plays poorly. I mean, you need someone who presses in that attack, so I think that is Marmoush. If you play Doku on the right instead of Oscar Bob, maybe, but
see, for me, I think I said this on the show yesterday. Whether you start Doku or Marmoush, for me personally, is down to if Aït-Nouri. Well, down to two things. Firstly, is Aït-Nouri fit to start? If Aït-Nouri is fit to start, that means he can get further forward, which would then suggest maybe you do play Marmoush, then Marmoush can come more centrally, giving Aït-Nouri the space to get down the left-hand side. And I think against Man United, you might want to do that to try and ping their fullbacks back. If Aït-Nouri isn't fit to start, maybe you might want to go with Doku to provide the width. Maybe.
I mean, if Aït-Nouri isn't fit to start, because I think this is also a problem we have at Man City. Our entire system depends on Aït-Nouri at the moment. Because when Aït-Nouri was playing against Spurs, first 20 minutes, we were cooking them. And then Aït-Nouri comes off, and now we bring on Aki. Aki is not going to go up as much, so Aki becomes back three. That's fine, but Marmoush has to become the wide winger in that situation, which is why he came off with Doku. Marmoush isn't good at that. But then the problem is Doku doesn't press, and Doku isn't awfully good either, if we're being honest. At least not at the moment. So I think you'd probably just play O'Reilly, or you have to completely change system.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. We could switch back to O'Reilly. We have to remember O'Reilly at the back end of last season was very, very good for us. I think with Aït-Nouri coming in and with, I guess, O'Reilly playing in the middle of the park, we forgot about how good O'Reilly was on the left-hand side. So I think that is a thing. I think the other thing as well, which is really important to how much I want our left fullback to get forward, is if Kuzanov is on the pitch. Because if Kuzanov isn't on the pitch, then one of the fullbacks needs to be maybe not drifting up the pitch as much and covering for Diaz. Because
I reckon Kuzanov will play as a centre back.
I think he will.
I think we'll have Nunez and probably Aït-Nouri, depending on fitness, as our fullbacks.
I think so. I have a feeling as well. I think if you look at it with the defenders, I don't think Vardiol's going to be back in time. I think we're pretty confident Vardiol won't be back. Stones, we're a bit unsure of because of him coming away. I know it's a precaution, him coming away from the England camp, but because of that, Ake, for me, he looked a little bit leggy of what I've seen, that maybe he's... Well...
I mean, we're talking about old players, Ake, Stones, who are coming back from injuries. I mean,
hold on, let's just be clear. Ake's 30 years old.
Yeah, but 30 years and coming back from an injury is different from 30 years and you've not been injured for a year or
very
two.
True. Fair. True. Very true. Very, very true with that.
And when you hit your 30s, you also recover slower.
Yeah, you do. Facts. Trust me, as a guy in his 40s, I know.
If you have an injury like at 25, you might recover in 6 months and be completely match fit at the end of those 6 months. Whereas if you're 30, you might be fit to play again after 6 months, but you won't be match fit until another month or two.
Yeah,
so
agreed.
I think with Ake, he's fit, but he's not match fit. I think that's his problem. And you don't accumulate a lot of match fitness off the bench, but we can't have him starting these games either. I think a lot of these players, we have problems. To be honest, I said that I get cooked for this. I think Ake is our best left back of all time in the treble season.
I disagree with you, bro. I wouldn't. For me, it's mad because obviously Vardiol last season got Man City Player of the Season, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's fair to say. Firstly, he played some of it as a centre-back, some of it is as a left-back, and also the bar was a lot lower last season, right? I would probably agree with you. I've said a few times, bro, I think Ake treble season was one of our best players and one of our unsung heroes. So anyone that cooks you for that take, is someone that probably doesn't watch City as much as you do. It's a bit like me and my Kovacic. For me, the Ake thing is a bit like when I rate Kovacic and people say, Daps, what are you doing? Kovacic is shit, right?
Now, Kovacic is also good, but it's a problem. When you put Kovacic as a 6, just a lone 6 is not going to thrive there. Kovacic thrives when he's in a double pivot or as an 8, which is why he looked very good, I thought, when Rodri and Kovacic played with each other.
That Rodri and Kovacic together. Do you know what? I'd be interested to see Rodri and Kovacic's record together. Now, I know that Rodri's record is pretty damn good already, so whether it's next to Kovacic or not, but I agree with you. And I also think the 4-peat season, the back end of that, Kovacic was Rodri's legs, because remember, when it got to the back end of that 4-peat season, Rodri was really talking about how tired he was. But I do think Kovacic was his legs there, so I agree with you on that as well.
Rodri was also getting a lot more goals and assists in the 4-peat season because he sets this. He trusts Kovacic when he pushes up. Otherwise, when he pushes up, he's a bit scared of getting goals behind. But with Kovacic, he trusted if he pushes up, he'll be fine because he's got him there. So I think Kovacic is a really good player. But on Aki, I think when you play him left back in our current system, it just doesn't work. In the treble season, he was terrific, but it was a completely different system.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw Everton were interested in Ake, I kind of thought, makes sense. They're trying to recreate what we had that treble season. So I've just got 2 other people who've joined, so I'm going to bring those in as well, and we'll have a 4 panel. Bear with me. We have AK. What are you saying, bro? You good? You on mute, I think.
Sorry. Anyway, can you hear me now?
No, you're live now. Yeah, can hear you all good.
As you can see, the sun is shining on my face. The sky gods have told me that we're going to be raking in billions and billions of Great British pounds.
Yeah, do you know what? That's exactly what we're going to talk on that in a second. And I don't know if we've spoke before, but we've got, is it Buck?
Yeah, no, it's a different name, Daps. This is my son's name, but the old YouTuber changed the names.
Oh right, okay.
I'm usually Governor with Martin.
Yeah. Governor. What are you saying?
Yeah.
We've never met before.
No,
but nice to have you on. We haven't. Nice to have you on. Yeah, and you were going to come on. Do you know what? And you said one time about joining. So welcome. Nice to put a face to a name as well.
Good to be on, mate.
Well, let's move on now to this whole APT thing. Firstly, what's everyone's understand? Is someone typing?
No, I've just put the volume up. I put my volume up.
No, sounds like someone's typing or something. I won't stop now. Yeah, there is a little echo. Can someone
from your end, Daps? From your end.
It won't be from my end, Bob. It won't be from my end. Oh.
Nothing on my end.
Yeah, that's better. Nah, it's when I talk. So it won't be from my end because I can't hear myself. It has to be from one of you guys. Can anyone else in the chat, can you hear the echo?
I can hear the echo as well.
Yeah.
Not sure
I can hear the echo.
Yeah.
Very clear.
Governor, I think it's you.
Is it?
If you can hear it really clear.
I can hear your voice really clear.
Yeah, that's why. If you can hear us really clear, so can everyone else probably.
I might take the headphones off.
That usually. Hold on.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good when you come off. Yeah, that's better. No, it's even worse now.
That's worse.
Can you put the headphones on, but turn them down a little bit? Go on. That's better.
That's better.
That's better. Can you hear us now?
Cheap headphones. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, perfect. Right, APT. So, from what we have been told, well, it is pretty clear. The Premier League and Manchester City's statements to me looked identical. looks like they probably spoke about their statements, shared their statements because they were pretty much identical. The initial statement came out that basically the charges that Manchester City were trying to bring or were accusing the Premier League of, they've made a settlement to basically it's not going to go any further. But then when you read into it a little further, it does also give the key bit of information that AK, I think you just said, that basically the agreement Manchester City had 2 years ago with Etihad Airways that got blocked is now going to be allowed to go through, which basically means Manchester...
sorry to cut in here, but I forgot to mention, even a deal with the Abu Dhabi National Bank was also blocked.
Right, and that's going to be allowed to go through as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So basically, what it looks like is, although in fact, Amar's. Let's see if this. The ruling is simple. The Premier League have got what they want. City acknowledge the current APT rules, and in return, City gets put through the huge sponsorships which were previously blocked. Is this correct? If this is correct, then that makes a farce of the Premier League once again, because it's saying the APT, or is it saying the new APT rules that they put through? Because am I not right? The Premier League when City took them to court, they recreated the APT rules back about March time.
As I understand it,
go on.
As I understand it, we took the Premier League to court over the APT rules. We won. They changed the rules, but Man City wasn't happy with the way the rules were changed. Man City thought the rules needed to be changed more. So we went to court again, and the Premier League is apparently struggling to maintain all the court cases they're doing. So they approached Man City for a settlement, and we reached a settlement, and both the club and the Premier League are not saying anything about settlement, but apparently the deal with the Etihad is going through. So I'm guessing that's probably part of that settlement.
Right, okay. And I would imagine the knock-on effect on other Premier League clubs is that the new rules will help the likes of Newcastle, will help the likes of probably Nottingham Forest.
Go on. Sorry, they've got to sort themselves out.
I 100% agree with you, bro. 100%.
Why are we doing it for them?
Yeah, no, do you know what? I agree with you on that. I think the whole thing is, even correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty certain Newcastle actually voted against us in their recent APT rules, which is just like you lot. If you're voting against us, I feel like Newcastle are trying to toe the lines because they're really, really, really trying to make friends. And it's like, listen, bro, these people don't want to be friends with you, right? Yeah. They want to stop you.
Yeah. Why didn't Newcastle ask the questions? Why didn't they push the ball? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they should do. They should do. The more that push the boat, the better.
What is the goal of the PIF, though? Is it to win trophies and be a serious club, or is it to sports wash and make Saudi Arabia a more fashionable-looking country? If you win trophies, people hate you.
Oh, hold on. But let's look at what you just said there. So and then, do you know what? We're a City channel. Everyone else is going to slander us. So let's have the conversation now. Sports washing or success, right? Which one are they trying to do? Would it not be fair to say that to sports wash correctly, you have to do both, right? Because if City weren't right, so if the Abu Dhabi lot came in and didn't do what they did for us, we would not be as successful as we are now. If we were not as successful as we are now, then they would not be being promoted anywhere near as much as they are now. Because ultimately, we wouldn't be in the Club World Cup, as an example.
Abu Dhabi didn't give up halfway through and start the Super League. Newcastle had started. Abu Dhabi then just gave up halfway through and started the Super League to draw attention to instead.
So what you're saying is that you think potentially that Newcastle's owners aren't that bothered about Newcastle.
I think they might be bothered, but I don't think they're interested in doing what Man City did. I think they've realized it's easier to just make our own league and get eyes on our own league and maybe win a trophy once in a while with Newcastle. Because if you win trophies a lot, people start hating you, which is what happens with Man City, which happened with Man United in the past, Chelsea.
Listen, I can tell you now, we've gone from the team that everyone used to love to the team that everyone hates. And that really is I've always said it. Everyone, even before we'd won the Premier League, when we won the FA Cup over Man United, I still had Arsenal fans telling me, do you know what? I like you lot. The minute we took food off anyone else's plates, everything changed. Everything changed. I think you're right with that. I've got someone else joining the mixer as well, Sam. Bear with me, mate. I'm just going to create an overlay. We can hear you, Sam, but you're not here yet. So that's an interesting one because I have thought maybe they haven't. But right, let's forget Newcastle and let's look at us. What does this mean for us?
Well, potentially, how much we're looking at here. If you've got the bank as well coming in, you're looking at well over 1.5 billion. Even you might even go even more. Yeah. So people that are interested that can come in now.
It could go over 2 billion, 2 billion.
It could be.
Right. So are we now in hindsight, could this maybe be why we held back in the summer, maybe from some of the signings? Just waiting for this to go through?
Yeah, maybe.
I'd still have rather spent money then on a right back. Even if it's a temporary one.
Listen, I'm not condoning. I'm not condoning. In fact, you know what? As you said that, we all know it, but I found this clip the other day and I find it absolutely hilarious.
Manchester City, buy a new right back. Manchester City, buy a new right back. Manchester City, buy a new right back.
Hamza is doing God's work wherever the hell he is.
The thing is, though, Daps, it's what we do with the money.
Yeah. Do
you know what I mean?
Well, and before we talk about what we do with the money and act like we're all kind of Scrooge McDuck's nephews, right? Does anyone think that anything to do with this has any indication on 115?
No, not really.
Indication about the 115. Although we know that the APT case is a part of the 115, which is now out of the way, and the main one, which is the FFP, the financial fair play rules, which we allegedly are guilty of. That has to be settled.
No. But what I'm saying is anything to do.
No, I don't.
We know it's separate. So, do you think there's any indication of this one? Because I
don't think so. I think
no.
Out of the under 115, they might have 3 or 4 in charges in there that might stick. You don't know. All the rest we could get rid of. But if we was losing these cases like the APT, I would be questioning it. If we were losing these sort of things, then maybe, but we're winning them.
Yeah. And
we're winning the facts.
And I think that's probably the unless someone can tell me a reason why I should look at this one and say, do you know what? Actually, this is a good indication of how 115 is going to go, right? The only thing I would probably take from this is the confidence that it looks like our solicitors really do know, our legal team know what they're doing, right? Yeah. That we do seem to be winning cases, and it kind of shows that Manchester City maybe aren't picking battles that they can't win, right? That is how I would look at it. And but I agree with you. I don't think it's too much of an indication on 115.
I also just want to say, because we're talking about 4 or 5 charges maybe sticking, but if the majority of charges are deemed incorrect, then at that point the prosecutor's stance becomes weaker, and court can actually dismiss all the charges for prejudice.
That's very true,
Which means basically you're doing a witch hunt and we're not going to entertain it. So if the majority of charges are false, especially the major ones, the tribunal, I guess it is, could just say this is a witch hunt, this is nonsense, and say none of it. I guess that won't happen with non-cooperation stuff. They are fine for that, but any major charge, if we get not guilty on them, we're probably getting off it just fine, even if 1 or 2 sticks.
Even if we found guilty, City are gonna appeal it anyway, and then it's gonna carry on again.
Yeah. I reckon there's already been an appeal because the entire court thing was supposed to be done already. So there's probably been an appeal in the background.
Well, do you know what? What someone about a month ago, I was speaking with somebody that works. He doesn't work for Manchester City. He's not involved in this, but the company that he does work for is often in quite similar types of legal cases. And he said usually what happens when it's between two massive corporations, that what will happen is a decision will be made, and the decision is, because when people say no one will know about this until it comes out, right? Yeah. That's not true. That the absolute top people at both corporations are made aware of it, and it's then down to them to almost negotiate how it ends. And I mean, look, I'm not going to say go and watch TV, but I'm currently watching Suits, and he's not wrong. That is how things happen when it's two huge corporations and a lot of money is at stake, and a lot of how each company looks. Things like this, there is a good chance that Khaldoon and 1 or 2 others at City and Masters and a few others already are in negotiations about how this ends. So we will see.
The APT.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't that supposed to be in-house, secret? Like no one's supposed to know about that.
Was it? But wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
I think it was.
There's one thing in football that, I mean, at the moment, I've always said I don't understand how so much gets leaked from football clubs. Like even the lineup, sometimes people leaking things from football clubs. I think that's what maybe happens when you have people at clubs that don't support the club, that they leak things that they shouldn't leak. But right, so I think Martin was doing a Spaces yesterday, and I think the title was something like "Now Let the Spending Begin." I can't see that happening, Look, I do think probably next transfer window. I think one of the important things with this is, and someone made a really good point yesterday, that the way that PSR works, I believe it's over a 3-year basis, right? It's in the previous 3 years. And if you think about it, the fact we didn't win any trophy last season, we only did the 4-peat the season before, but 4-peat, we did have the Club World Cup yesterday, which is a significant amount of money. But I think the importance of getting this in now is that if we didn't, we probably would be able to spend a little bit less because we haven't had as much success on the pitch recently. So in the next year or two, from a PSR point of view, we probably will be able to spend a little bit less. Club World Cup probably adds to it a lot. But I think we're all saying, right, does this mean in January we go out and get it right back?
I mean, definitely we have to, Dubs. Definitely we have to, because at the moment we need a right back at this point, because if you've seen that Nunes Bozo against Brighton, which he ultimately costed us, he costed us 3 points.
So I'm sorry, I agree we need a right back, right? But I feel for Nunes because he played into everyone's hands with that handball, right? But I don't think that's as much of a Bozo moment as people are making out. The amount of times that I've seen in the Premier League season, balls hit players' hands when they're being struck from very close, right? And I'm not condoning it. I've said Ruben Diaz would probably take that on his head and just keep going, right? But I personally don't think that's much of a Bozo moment. I'll be real with you. I think because it's Nunes and because we need a right back, it was perfect. We got him. Because apart from that, I don't think Núñez was bad that game. I think Aït-Nouri was probably worse than Núñez that game.
It probably did change the game.
Núñez plays well every game, but he always makes a balls moment. So it's kind of invalidates his good game, at least for me. Now, I also did look up just now how much the South Stand expansions are. They're apparently £300 million, which is about the same cost as the Etihad Airway deal. So that's pretty much the entire expansion pay for that deal.
Very convenient. Sorry, I'm just thinking how rival fans are going to see that, and they're going to be going sensational. You fuckers.
Yeah. And your stadium costs and stuff, that does go into PSR. So we've taken out stadium out of the PSR equation.
Right, okay.
We'll be fine with PSR now. We'll be fine with that now.
That's so interesting. So PSR does include on things like stadium expansions then?
Yeah, it includes pretty much all your costs because it's profit and sustainability.
I wasn't aware of that. Yeah, true. Very true. Sam.
Yes,
welcome.
guys. Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Apart from a right back, what do you think would be the priority if we are looking January, maybe next summer? What would you put as a priority?
That's a good question, Daps. I mean, you can hear me good, right?
Yeah, I can hear you all good, man.
Yeah.
All good.
Perfect. Well, I think, the midfield is, it's good. I think I have high hopes on Nico Gonzalez. I think, he can come good. I believe he contributes a lot with physicality. But I watched LB last night, and it was like, we need Baleba, we need Wharton. So we'll see, both of them. Yeah. Because
why not
spend the money? Yeah, why not? You see.
If you've got the money, I do agree that if we're talking long term, I hear it. If we're talking long term, I mean, because right now I still think we bring in Wharton. We don't
want any more. We don't want any more project players.
No more project players. I agree with that, Buck. I agree with that. No more project players. It's time to get the world-class talent that we
all right. So if we
scouting for.
So in that case, if we say no to Belieber, in that case, are you two saying no to Belieber, no to Wharton? We need to go out and get someone better and someone that's the here and now, not project.
Yeah.
Bruno G.
Got Elise. Throw money at Elise.
Bruno G. He's proven.
Bruno G. Yeah.
See,
he's getting on a bit, I think.
All right, but we're moving on to different positions there, right? Whereas I would say that if we were to get Belieber or Wharton, or maybe both, right? Is there a good chance if we see them coming in that there's a very good chance that Rodri's going to be leaving?
Daps. Sorry. On that note, I have to say this. I think it's time we have to get a world-class winger who can actually be clutch for us in the later stages of the game.
Hold on, you just literally gone. We're going to move on from this, Daps.
Yeah.
But we'll move on to wingers. I just asked a really important question there. If we bring in Wharton and Belieber, does that mean Rodri's time's numbered at the club?
I don't think so.
You don't? I think if we bring both of those in, there's a good chance Rodri might be going next summer.
No, we don't want that.
I mean, Rodri
still has some years in him,
So
with Pep.
Yeah, actually, that's true. Kovacic and Bernardo are leaving next summer.
Yeah, my take on it.
Yeah, that's fair.
My take on it, Daps, is we need. Obviously, I think we need a centre back, we need a right back, we need a midfielder, and we need our wingers. Probably the Bob's best out of the three. We still don't know with Savio yet, really. You've got to give him another year.
Yeah, I think Savio needs to give him. And I'm going to keep saying it.
You know what I mean?
Give him a chance on the left, man. Give him a chance.
I've always said I want top line players now because I think if Pep does go in 12 months, he's got 2 years, but he might walk after 12 months. And I think he'll want silverware before he goes. I think he'll just want it one more time.
Yeah, I think so as well. As well.
A bit unrelated, but I think if we win the Premier League, Pep is just going to walk. He's going to be like, look at what I did, and he's going to walk.
He'll go on his own terms.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think if we sounds mad us saying this at the moment, but yeah, if we win the Premier League this season, I agree with you. I think there's a good chance that Pep might go, do you know what? I do think, and look, I know people have different opinions. Some people think Pep will extend again. I think Pep's last contract signing was a bit of two things. I think probably one, it was a bit of where he was in his life. Stability was probably the right thing. I also think, secondly, for the club, because we realised, shit, we're in a bit of a shit show here. The club were, Pep, we need you to extend. Now, I think if we were to win the league this season, then I think people will straight away be going, rebuild done, right? And then at that point, Pep will go, listen, you've got a squad age that's a lot better than it was last summer. We've just won a league. It's time for me to go. I agree. I do think he would go at that point.
But I mean,
you know, we're so lucky to have him all this time now.
Oh, 9 years. 9 years of Pep. I thought we were going to have 3. I honestly thought we were going to have 3.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So, so with wingers, I do hear the wingers thing. I do. I think it becomes pretty obvious. But I was having a conversation yesterday with Rants about our overall, I'm going to say, the physicality of this City squad. If you go back to 2011, right? We had Vieira, De Jong, Yaya Toure, Zabaleta, Vincent Kompany, Kolarov, Lescott, Kolo Toure. It's a rugby team. Well, Laporte 2011 wasn't there. No, wasn't there in 2011. But I mean, basically the team that went out, it was an absolute powerhouse of physicality, right? I mean, I used to absolutely love the De Jong and Vincent Kompany both going in on a challenge and high-fiving each other. It was just, I mean, you can imagine Vieira just stood at the back of all of them, not just going, I don't even need to get involved. If there was a fight, he'd just go, I don't need to get involved. Look at these. Kolarov will bite your ear off, right? Whereas now I look at us a bit, and I do think we do need a bit more physicality in the middle of the pitch. I think we do.
Too many flair players.
Who just said that? Who just said that?
I said that. I've been rating Yumaba since his Football League's debut.
Yeah. I agree with you on Juma Bar. And then I guess that's the other place. When we move back to centre backs, if we look at centre backs, look, I think next summer Stones will go. I think Ake will go. Akanji's already gone. That leaves us with Vardy or Diaz as our experienced centre backs. Sorry, say that again. Kuzanov, thank you. Kuzanov 3. Vitor Hayes. We'll see how he goes, but I think Vitor Hayes probably will come back as our, and then Juma Bar. At that point, do we need one more centre back as well, or are we good with them lot?
With 5 centre backs, I mean, if you get 4 injuries in a single position, nothing you can do about that. There's nothing you can do about that. So I think you should have enough at 5. I think what we need to do is get a proper right back, a proper backup right back, a proper backup left back, so we no longer have to play centre backs in those positions.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I don't think we'll get him.
Welcome, welcome, Bob. Sorry, what's your name? I know your channel. I know Dylan. What are you saying, Bob? I know your channel. I don't. Yeah. Good. Sorry. Carry on. I think it was Governor. Were you talking?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could go in for him, but I don't think we'll get him. Mark Gaya, Crystal Palace. But I think he's got his heart set on Liverpool. But why don't just put a price? Put it in there. Why not?
Well, I think the thing is, right, so Liverpool aren't going to carry this spending on every single summer, by the way. This is not going to be, it's not going to be every single summer. So
but
it's a bit of a hard one for me, because I wanted, if I look at what us as a club need, then I would say, go in for Gahey. Me as a fan, I'm kind of thinking, I don't want to lose anything to Liverpool, and I'd rather not go in for a player that Liverpool are going in for at risk of losing them. Look, let's stick to competing with them on the pitch, because off the pitch, I don't want. But maybe we're in a better position. But it has come out today. I believe Konate is going in the summer. It's looking very likely he's going to Real Madrid. So I think Liverpool are just probably, they're already ahead of us in the race.
Yeah.
So.
Probably.
Yeah, we need to stop Liverpool from. Becoming that Liverpool like they once used to be back in the early 2000s. It's scary.
Whoa! Not in the early 2000s, bro. Early 2000s, Liverpool weren't fuck all.
Sorry.
You have to go further back.
Yeah, you have to go. You have to go quite far back with Liverpool. You're going back to when I was. Before I was a kid, pretty much, was when Liverpool were a powerhouse. You're going back to the 80s, if we're talking Liverpool as a powerhouse, really and truly. Because even when they won the Champions League back when I was younger, they weren't doing anything in the league. We're going back late 80s, but I do agree with you. Liverpool this summer, I think they've shocked all of. No, it's not, boys. Anyone saying late 90s and Liverpool? No, you're going into the 80s. Liverpool have not been a powerhouse since the 80s. Look, let me be fair to Liverpool. Liverpool have always been a big club. Liverpool are a massive club, right? But in my lifetime, up until recently, I'd seen Liverpool win more Champions Leagues than I had seen them win Premier Leagues. And when they've been winning Champions Leagues, they weren't really that good in the league. They were, finishing in the top 4 maybe, but that's about it. Yeah. I think at the moment, what it is Liverpool we are at risk now of Liverpool becoming dominant, and that's what worries me. Because
but as soon as Van Dijk goes, they need to get like a big replacement for him. They need to get a replacement for Salah. They didn't really get one for Mane. That was one issue what they had there. That's why Diaz went. But they need to definitely, if they're going to be high level still, Salah's going to go very soon.
That's
Van
right.
Dijk's going to go very soon.
I can see the drop off. I can see the drop off there.
I can defensively. Yeah, I think. Look, I think I've been saying this all summer. Like going forward now. I mean, look, if Mo Salah doesn't play, if Mo Salah drops off injured, they can still play Wirtz, Ekitike, and Isak. Right, that's colossal. Right, but same time, if we switch to defensively, then we're talking about, okay, cool. I still do think Van Dijk, Konate, phenomenal centre-back partnership. But Konate gets injured, then their first choice backup for Konate is Gomez. Is it Gomez?
Yes.
Yeah, Gomez. Who's even more injury prone than Konate, right? And then they've brought this young player Leone, but I mean, we don't know too much about how they're going to land in the Premier League. So I do think the same way that we talk about them going forward, how if there is an injury, they're fine. Defensively, they don't have that cover. I do think defensively, Liverpool, and when their response will be, oh, it's okay, we can play Grav or Endo as a centre-back. Well, we've had seasons when Fernandinho's dropped back as a centre-back, but the problem there is, when a very good DM drops back into your back line, you then don't have a very good DM anymore. And that is the cover. I think Liverpool and City have both seen it when we've had Fernandinho drop back or when Liverpool have Fabinho drop back. You don't look as good because you're taking a world-class DM and playing them as an average centre-back. It's a completely different thing. But
I think it's Liverpool, though.
Can I ask you all just quickly? Rodrigo, right? Let's park up Rodrigo because I personally think if we were going to get Rodrigo, we would have got him this summer, right? I don't know if it might be the wages. Potentially, the wages might be so high that they just think, nah. You know what? But apart from because for me, one of my biggest hates this summer has been if I say to someone, "What does City need?" Right? I expect an answer like, we need a right back or we need a winger, right? But when I say, what does City need? And someone goes, we need Rodrigo, right? And I think, okay, that doesn't sound like it's the position. You're more obsessed with the player, right? And of course, listen, I get it. With certain players, I hear it, but I don't think Rodrigo is good enough, that he becomes more important than just getting a winger. So apart from Rodrigo, has anyone got any other shouts out there as wingers that we should bring in?
Elise.
Right.
Heard a lot about him. Elise,
totally agree with that. Totally agree with Elise.
Yeah.
I was hoping someone was going to say Elise, to be honest.
Musiala.
As a winger.
He's a
He's more of a 10, right?
It's a wing
as a CM, I would say, as a CM, as a proven CM.
So who else has a winger?
A winger.
As a winger, I'm telling you, Dabs, if someone says Vinny Jr., you're getting blocked.
I'm not a fan of Vinny Jr. I'll be honest with you. I'm not. Look, I get it, I don't watch Madrid. The guy must be good, right? He was in a Ballon d'Or shout, so he must be good. But I can only go by what I've watched, and I don't think Vinny's ever looked that great against us. I really think Vinny is overrated. I think we missed a trick with is it Kavalashvili? Is that how you?
Kvaratskhelia. Yeah.
Kvaratskhelia.
I think we really missed a trick in. I mean, the only thing you could say is Daps, we got Marmoush, and that's fair. But I think, for me, he's probably one of the best wingers out there that I see.
But the only issue we've got is, Pep likes to run the ball to the corner and pass back. There's no point us going for like a fast winger. Yeah. That's the only thing. That's what happened with Doku. Doku, fastest one-on-one taker, good at dribbling. But there's no point when Doku just runs to the corner flag and goes pass back. There's no point us looking for one of them type of fast guys. We need to get a guy who's ready to pass, move, pass, move, pass, move.
We need someone who can score clinically, who is composed on the ball, who can play as a touchline winger and as an inverted forward. That's two very different roles, which is just because you're a winger, it doesn't mean you can play every style of wing play. You saw it with Jack Grealish. He's very good as a winger who comes inside, but when you put him out as a touchline winger, not so much. So, I mean, if you want an obscure shout, Christos Zolis, I'd say, is a very good winger. He can score. He scores clutch goals. He's done it in Champions League. He's very composed on the ball, rarely loses it. Can slow down the game, can speed it up, can play in the middle. So that's an winger I will throw in. But what's the idea with Man City moving forwards? When we talk about buying new players, what's the idea? Not just this season, but next season and the season after. What's the long-term idea with some of these players? With Doku, with Savi, for example, I don't know what the long-term project is with them. Christos Zolis, I could see a bit more. Lookman is a name thrown around a lot. Yeah. He can play as an inverted forwards, maybe as a more classical winger taking on third man. Can he play as a touchline winger? I'm not sure. If our plan is to have a touchline winger out there, I wouldn't want Lookman to do that.
Yeah,
I don't mind a winger. It doesn't have to score all the time. If he gets 20 GA and feeds Haaland, that'll do me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do think a winger, and it's mad. Look, there is. I understand how important Grealish was to the treble season. He was a facilitator pretty much to the rest of the team, right? So I do understand that. The beauty of having Mahrez on the other side and having Gundogan coming in clutch. I think that was perfect. But I do understand generally, that if you are a winger in football, then if you're not getting goals or assists, then what are you doing? It has to be one of the two. Or a mixture of both. I think that's probably where Mahrez came in so good. Because Mahrez, and actually, to be fair to him, Sterling, a couple of seasons, the numbers Sterling was getting, and it wasn't just goals. Sterling was getting assists as well.
Yeah.
Doing very well with assists. But I do hear it with wingers.
The only thing, far line, get it in for the tall striker.
Yeah.
Years ago, that's all they used to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. But I do hear what you're saying, Alf, that if we look at Aït-Nouri, well, ultimately, if the future is playing with a fullback that is bombing forward, then we no longer need a winger that's anywhere near the touchline, right? That's where all of a sudden Marmoush or a Cherky-like player works perfectly.
Yeah.
That's why I want fullbacks. Fullbacks, not the wing back. I'd prefer a full defend. I don't want.
Yeah, but that's how we get caught on counter attacks, though, because our fullbacks are so high up. It's like what happened with Trent. Everyone used to slate a Trent for not defending. Yeah. But because our fullbacks are all the way up, we're just getting counter attack on the wings, and then we're getting scored on.
You don't mind that if you've got the pace at the back with Cause on that. He's obviously the one we need.
There's the key is pace at the back, yeah. Yeah, the key is the pace at the back.
He's not playing the pace at the back. Kusanov is honestly one of our fastest players in defence, and he's not playing them at all. And we've got
hold on. We do have to say the one thing, because we always do, what have you done for me lately? And what Pep has done for us lately was in the last game he started Kusanov, right? I hear what you're saying, bro, because I'm with you 100%, yeah? That, like I've said, for me at the moment, Kusanov is probably my first name on the team sheet, right?
Yeah.
Because if I sit, I think Alf and I were talking at the start of the show, right, about whether I play Doku or Marmoush on the left against United. And ultimately, I can't answer that question unless I know if we've got pace at the back. Because if we've got pace at the back, then I'm cool with playing Aït-Nouri and letting Aït-Nouri bomb forward. If we don't have pace at the back, then all of a sudden I'm saying to my fullbacks, I don't want you to go too far forward because we're going to be caught out at the back. And it is mad, but, you know, all of that comes from who started at the back. Now, I do want to move on quickly. Did anyone watch Italy yesterday?
I watched a bit of it.
But I did watch the highlights.
Yeah.
I did watch the highlights of the game, and Donnarumma. Look, personally, I don't get the hate for this guy. I mean, look, he does. Obviously, it's natural that. He committed one of the biggest mistakes is by putting the ball in the back of his own net. But
wasn't that ruled out?
Yeah, it was ruled out.
Yeah, it was. But he looked. Do you know what? Right, I praised him for the Israel game for when he was called into action, just for looking, and it wasn't much because it was a very easy game for them. But when he was called into action, he looked fine. Yesterday, he took a bit of a calamity. And it's mad because literally hours before the game, I was on a show with Rance and I was saying to him that maybe when I watch Trafford at the moment, he just looks a little bit erratic, right? I think Trafford's had 2 good games, by the way, and 1 game not so. And the same, I was speaking about David Raya for Arsenal. I think Raya at times looks a little bit erratic, right? And when the ball's at his feet, it looks, I think I described it as a bit like when Paulo Wanchop used to have the ball at his feet, where somehow he's got control of it, but it doesn't look like he's got control of it. And it's the same with David Raya. With Trafford, he looks a little bit erratic. With Donnarumma, he doesn't. However, I can't lie. Yesterday, he looked completely different. It was like, for fuck's sake, don't do this before a derby, please.
Everyone is waiting for the mistake.
I hear it.
Yeah.
Everyone is waiting for it.
I hear it. Do you know what? Do you know what it is, right? I think I said this on a show yesterday. Where I feel at the moment, right, is that if I was to say, like, so I said, I said something like, is Leao that much better than Doku, right? And someone straight away said, right, I agree with you, bro. I don't think he's that much better. Someone then said, stop glazing Doku. And I said, how have I glazed Doku by saying Leao is not that much? But it does seem...
If someone wants to tell you that you're glazing Doku, I think the 6 wingers in the Belgian league were better than Doku. I don't want Doku into the international team, not even on the bench.
I kind of sense that from our conversation earlier.
but I don't think Doku and Leao are that far apart. The difference is Leao in Serie A gets a bit more space and a bit more time. If Doku had that space and time, he'd find his finishes. Where Doku struggles is when he's crowded.
I agree with you on that. I just, but my point from it overall is that at the moment it does seem to be like, and like you're saying, Governor, everyone's just waiting for mistakes. It seems
That's
like
right.
with everything at the moment, it's like you have to have a side. You can't be neutral and you can't have an opinion. If you have an opinion, you're either a Glazer or you hate him, right? How about I just think he's all right, right? How about I'm just middle of the ground and and the same with Donnarumma. It seems like everyone's had to take sides. You Donnarumma or you Trafford, right? And it's like, how about I want both of them to? How about I want both of them to do well?
It's the only position on the it's the only position on the pitch that if you make a mistake, you get punished. You can't hide from it.
Severely.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. I've always, do you know what? And defenders a bit. I always remember I always felt for Mangala, right? Because Mangala's first game for City against Chelsea, he was great, right? But then after that, he made a couple of mistakes, and that was it, done. Because as a defender, when you join a new league, and a goalkeeper, if you make a mistake, you're held accountable to it. Now, as a forward or a midfielder, you get a lot more time to land because your mistakes aren't leading to goals being conceded. Even if you lose the ball in midfield, someone might trace it back and go, oh, you know what? But it's been traced back. It's not like a prime example is Nunes. Nunes handball, right? Nunes had a stinker. He's shit. We must and it's kind of like, you know what? If Nunes was playing in midfield right now, would Nunes be doing any better than he is at right back? Probably not, right? But the mistakes just wouldn't be there for everyone to pinpoint and say this guy's so. So who are we? Let's go around the panel though. Against Man United, Alf, who are you starting?
I don't care, to be honest. I don't think that's. I don't think
Ortega.
That's biggest. Calm down. I don't think goalkeeper is the biggest issue. I don't think if Trafford starts or if Donnarumma starts, that will be the reason why we win or lose.
Yeah.
Donnarumma is a better goalkeeper, but it's be his first game and a derby. But then on the other side, well, Trafford is 21, if I'm not mistaken, to play in a derby on just getting here after the disaster starts. I don't think that's the right answer, to be honest. I don't mind who starts. So what I'm more concerned about
you are going with Ortega, aren't you? I mean, by the way, I was just thinking in my head, if Ortega is our third choice, do you know what? We're doing all right, you know, because I wouldn't be that mad if Ortega started against Man United. Like, I really wouldn't be that mad if Ortega started, you know. I wouldn't. I think Ortega got a few pelters last season for no reason. I thought, all right. What about you, AK?
Just like Alf said, I think the goalkeeper side of things is not an issue. I think the problem is our defense, because again, we haven't learned the mistakes from last season and the starting of the season. Our defense has and always been the biggest problem.
Can I just say one thing though? And I said this before. We have learned. What have you done for me lately? The last game, Pep started with Kuzanov, so he has learned. This is the thing. When people say we're not, and I'm one of them. But I've been here saying we haven't learned, right? But the last game we started Kuzanov. So if we're talking about the high line and not playing with pace, right? We started Kuzanov. Now, if you're meaning with the right back situation, that's different. But as far as putting pace in midfield, Pep has learned. Unfortunately, the player got injured.
Which is a negative. Which is a negative now, because I don't know if Kuzanov is fit.
I agree. It's a massive negative. But if we're talking about the counter and making sure that we do have some pace in the back, the last game Kuzanov started, so Pep did go out and start our only counteraction to pay. Unless we drop the high line, the only other way we can counteract it really is with Kuzanov's pace, and Pep started him.
Yeah, he did. I am not denying that 100%. Nah.
Go on, Alf, what were you going to say?
What's 2 + 2?
4.
It's all a trick question. Yeah, 4. So if Pep says 5 to 2 + 2, and I say 5 is wrong, and then he tells me 3, gets he learn?
No, he doesn't.
He played Husanov as left centre back. I don't.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. I see where you're going with this, Alf. You're a clever guy, Alf. You are a clever guy. And I like the way you did that as well.
I think that would only happen. I think Cuz should be playing right back myself, personally. But that'll only happen, I think, with injuries. And then Núñez would have to go back there in right back. That's the only time I think Cuz will go centre back for injuries. But I want Kuznetsov as the right back.
You want Kuznetsov as the right back? See,
full stop.
Yeah. I see. For me, I agree with you. If we had a fully fit team, I'm still starting Diaz. I am going. Yeah, I'm going. Yeah. Vardio, Diaz, Kuznetsov. I am. Yeah. I think that because again, bit of revisionism. The back end of last season, Vardio and Diaz were good together. Right? Were they perfect? No, but no partnership is perfect when it first starts to form, right? It got us over the line. So I think we're doing revisionism if we kind of say, nah, that's it. Like the whole Diaz is washed and Diaz is shit thing to me is like, I understand Diaz's form is bad at the moment, 100%. But you can't go from being the level he was to being shit, right? He's exposed, maybe, but
he's the best organizer at the back as well. He's the best organizer.
He's also playing.
Stones there, he's very quiet. Stones, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's also playing pretty much the same game, pretty much every game. And for the 4-beat season and in last season, he was playing the same game every game. But when Husanov was next to him, people were praising him. When Guardiola was next to him, people were saying Diaz is getting back into form.
Yeah.
Diaz didn't play any different. He just had someone to cover for his space.
Yeah.
What Diaz does for us, which I don't see anyone talk about this. Whenever a team clears the ball, Diaz will pick it up, get us moving forwards again. Diaz keeps us attacking. Yeah. And when we're back in our box, we're defending, he keeps our defense organized. Yeah, he's slow, and he's not going to handle those counters well. But that's what I say. You get 2 plates around Diaz, a fast centre back, and a fast right back to cover that space, and Diaz will just make you a lot better, will keep you going forwards a lot more, and will organize your defense when you're pressed back. Right. I don't think he's been bad at all. I think he's been exposed, but not bad.
Yeah, and bro, Alf, do you know what? You've got some really good takes, bro. I agree with you on that as well. I've been saying it since the season he arrived, right? What's changed? And what's changed is Kyle Walker next to him. That's the thing that has changed. Like we've always been exposed, and Martin, you said this a while ago. We've always been a team that plays a high line under Pep. In fact, we've always been open to transitions. The difference is we had an insurance policy in Kyle Walker, and that insurance policy, and this is the thing where even if you go back to last season, the season started last season with us saying Kyle Walker doesn't look the same player because Kyle Walker had lost a yard of pace, right? And from that, all of a sudden, Walker looked worse. Walker has, and don't get me wrong, I am saying Diaz has looked bad, but I'm with you, Alf. I don't think he's changed that much. I think it's the people around him. The fact that we don't have Mahrez and Grealish that are holding on to the ball as much. We don't have a midfield. We don't have a midfield that win. Yeah, we don't have a midfield and an attack that wins the ball back within 2 seconds, right? So then all of a sudden there's a lot more exposure on the back line. Go on, what were you going to say about Stones?
Stones has also lost a bit of pace on him. Stones was never rapid, but he was fast. Now he's very slow. So even when Stones plays next to him, even Stones doesn't help because when we concede goals with Diaz on the pitch, it's either a counter where Diaz is just not able to handle it on his own, and most usually he's the only one running back on a counter. Pay attention to that. And also, it's fucking penalties or stupid goals like that, which Diaz has no bearing on.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Going back to the keepers, Daps.
Yeah, who are you for?
I think he'll play Trafford. I don't think Donnarumma has had enough time.
I agree with you. Yeah.
He's not going to get back. What did I get back Wednesday or Thursday?
I believe Wednesday, right? Wednesday. Last match
I think it's
today.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
I think Wednesday.
So they've only, it's only a few days. So I think Trafford might get the job.
Yeah.
But after that, I think Donnarumma might be in for Napoli. I don't know.
Arsenal, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I completely, and I actually, someone said in the comments the other day, and I thought was spot on. I agree with you on that, Governor, and I think also the second thing is for maybe, I think Donnarumma, don't get me wrong, I think he's going to want to play a lot of games, but I think he's especially going to want to play in that Champions League. I think the guy is going to want to prove himself in the Champions League and not get one over PSG, but well, he'll want to be, he would ideally want to end this season being voted Champions League goalkeeper of the season, right? Just so he can go fuck you to PSG. So listen, I need to wrap this up because I've got another show going on over on Never a Foul, but I really appreciate all of you coming on. It's really, really good take. Sam, hopefully you come on next time and of course...
Yeah, no worries. First time for me, so next time I'll get more involved, yeah.
And Dylan as well. Both of you get more involved as well. But appreciate both of you coming on. Thanks to everyone for watching. Guys, have any of you lot got anything you want to plug at all? Any channels or anything?
Channels?
My MCFC Fan TV. If anyone's at the game, come and do an interview. Literally, it's just like Arsenal Fan TV, United View. Come and give your opinion after the game.
Whereabouts are you based? Whereabouts around the stand?
South, right next to the store. If you
South
go
stand, yeah?
Right next to the store?
I'm in the corner.
Right, okay, perfect. I'm still 50-50 if I'm coming up or not. I'm
gonna be there for the United game.
Yeah. I'm trying to not drink, and it's if I can go to a game and not drink. It's whether I put that first or I don't know yet. So I'm 50-50 still.
Blues down under tomorrow night.
Blues down under tomorrow night, lovely. Appreciate you all being here, and this is going to redirect over to Never a Foul, where we are going to be talking a bit more about City. I have heard apparently Nunes has been sacked as well. I don't know if
Nuno's been sacked.
Nuno,
and Big Ange coming in again. The return of Big Ange.
Really?
Highline for life, man. Yeah. He's the highline for life.
I hadn't seen yesterday. I kind of switched off to the world a little bit. So, but right, people, we're going to end it here, and I am going to end it with.
Take care,
do you know what? Appreciate it. Nice to meet you all.